Well, it's a pleasure to be joined now here on Glenn Clark Radio by an Olympian and one of our own, the pride of North Harford High School in Harford County. And she's getting ready to help Team USA as one of the captains for the Rugby Sevens team in Tokyo. It's a pleasure to welcome Abby Gustaitis to the show. Abby, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you. Thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes for us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Glenn. Stoked and couldn't be more proud to be from Maryland and representing in Tokyo this summer.
That's awesome. All right, so I have to ask, how North Harford are you? Did you ever ride your own or someone else's tractor to school at any point in high school?
I knew that was going to be the first question. People's jaws drop in California when I tell them we had drive your tractor to school day. It's unbelievable. And no, I did not participate, but I was always ecstatic to leave class to check out other people's tractors.
It is part of the fabric of the culture at North Harford. I live in, I'm not terribly far away. I'm in Baltimore County. I'm in Moncton.
Okay.
So I have a lot of friends that were at North Harford, and it is very much a fabric of the culture. Ride your tractor to school day is so important there. Abby, I was doing some background on you. Your path to rugby is fascinating to me. You were a little bit older when you came into the sport, correct?
Definitely. I didn't even know what rugby was until I was in college at the University of Maryland, and I was 18. I found out about it. Started playing 19. You know, a young, spry 30 now. So I figured, why not give it my best?
Yeah, it worked. The time-wise, it's worked out okay for you. Did you play? What did you play in high school? What were you involved with athletically?
I mostly played basketball, but I played a little bit of field hockey as well, and then like softball and baseball growing up.
So when you finished high school, did you assume that your athletic career was over? Did you just sort of say like, I'm going to move on to something else in life?
Pretty much exactly that.
Okay, this is wild to me. Like, this is wild that you were done. You were out. And so somebody introduces you to rugby, and was it love at first sight, or was it like, this is cool? Like, how does that go?
I found the sport so intriguing, like the physicality of it. You play basketball, right? Like you're body checking people when you can, but there's nothing like rugby for women. Like, yeah, you can try and play American football, but it's obviously not the norm. And so to find a sport that was completely equivalent to the men's version where rules are the same. You know, women's lacrosse, I tried to play that.
Sure.
So boring.
Yep.
I was like,
I understand. I call women's lacrosse all the time. And even the greatest women's lacrosse players are like, look, it's frustrating to us too.
Exactly. So I was like, that's not the sport for me. But then, I found rugby, but the culture of rugby was unlike any sport I'd ever come across, and just so welcoming. There's a spot for everyone on the team. And I was like, I played high school sports, but like, I've never played this sport. I don't even know if they'll want me to come and try. Sure. And they were like, you're big. Come on out. Like, you're almost 6 feet tall. Like, we'll take you. I was like, all right, we'll give it a go. And then, I definitely stuck around because of the culture and the camaraderie that was instantaneous. But the sport, it's literally my passion in life that I found when, I'm at University of Maryland, and 10 years later, here we are.
That's so cool. She's Abby Gustaitis. She's an Olympian. She's with us here on Glenn Clark Radio from Harford County. Abby, so how does it go from discovering the sport that you didn't know anything about to, a decade later, you're going to participate in the Olympics. You're one of the best players in the world. Like that seems like an awfully quick, I know it's a decade, but still, like from just discovering a sport to now, how does that happen?
I did fall in love with it. So I put my heart and soul into it. Like during college, it wasn't as serious. I was on path to go to medical school. I was like, I'm the doctor, like that's my plan. That's the route I'm choosing. And so I played rugby throughout college, but I was also very keen on my studies, and that was the plan. And then I found sevens, which is what I play now.
Yep.
So before I was just playing 15s, and I found sevens right after college in 2014. I became an All-American in 15s, kind of got that idea that there was a national team. And I was like, oh, maybe this is something I could do. And I found sevens. And then that version, like it's the same size field, but it's only 7v7. The game is only 14 minutes long. So It is over in a flash. And it's just incredibly hard work. Like it tests you in every capacity. And that's what I've always loved about sport. And so once I found that, the finesse of the game, and I would just wake up at like 3 a.m. to go watch all the international tournaments.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
the national teams playing in Dubai and Cape Town. And I would just be on my computer, like huddled up under a blanket, like trying to learn everything I could about this sport. And I honestly still do that to this day.
You kind of
they're going over there, but we're not going yet. I was like, all right, I'm watching in the middle of the night.
Somebody's like, Abby, we're going out tonight. You're like, I'm good. I'm good. I got plans. I'm sorry.
Like, I'll go out for an hour and then got to be back.
Do you remember a moment where like the Olympic dream began for you? Do you remember a moment where it became more than like something you were doing for fun or even that you were good at, and like now there's a real Olympic dream here?
I would say it started in about 2015 for me. I played my first summer of rugby sevens, and it was incredible. You go to nationals and we came in 4th, which sucked, right? Like that's just the worst.
Right. You're the first team off the boat. You're just watching like
and then I started playing in DC after college for a few club teams, and I had a few coaches that were like, oh, like you could be pretty good at this, like let's give it a shot. And so I just started playing every chance I could. And then you kind of travel around like you would with like AAU basketball or something, traveling around playing rugby in different countries, internationally, all-star type teams. And then the national team coach at the time saw me play, and he was like, oh, like I see potential in you. Like you're still pretty raw and like a sevens. And I'm like not the fastest girl on the field, and that's like what sevens typically is. So that's why I always stayed away from sevens. So I was like, okay, oh, wingers, it's for those girls who are just gonna do the 100-meter dashes. And I was like, that's not really me.
You're too tough for that.
Yeah, something like that. And so I had put it off for a while, and then I was like, no, let's mix this up. Like I can do it. Like, and so I got invited out to Chula Vista in California, which is where the Olympic Training Center is, and went out there in March 2015. They offered me $600 a month. That's it, to come out, play. I moved across the country from DC, where I was working full time for a plastic surgeon.
Yeah, I was gonna say just as good as your medical school, just the same. Exactly. Yeah.
My mother's jaw drop as well. Just like, come again? I'd already applied to medical school.
Wow.
My primary application. I took the MCAT twice. Like, I was like,
it started to sound like you had to make the Olympics at this point. Like you had to get that goal in order to be able to say to everybody, no, this wasn't a way.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I went out in 2015. So, right, it's in 2016. And then we had 3 head coach changes in the last year lead up to the Olympics. And the second coach was like, this isn't for you. Like, this isn't the sport for you. Like, turns out she gets fired a week later.
Well, so what did she know? Yeah.
Not for you either, honestly. But
damn. Oh my.
But alas, didn't make the 2016.
And you guys clearly have stayed in touch since then. You've developed a great friend.
But so here we are. I get cut from the national team. You're like, I guess I didn't have what it takes. And then I went back and played club sevens, which is how I started.
Okay.
And I just like fell in love with the sport. I was like, you know what? No, I do love this. Like, this is what I want to do. And, I had different coaches, super supportive, encouraging. I ended up going to Australia to play sevens. And then I went and made the 15s World Cup team in 2017. Again, we came in 4th. It's like, it's a theme. I'm not.
Yeah, that's not okay. It's not okay. It's got to change.
Yeah. And then so I eventually got invited back to the Olympic Training Center, and in 2017, and then I've been there since. And we had one more coaching change, and he's been the head coach since the summer of 2018, and now going into Tokyo. So it's been pretty consistent. We had a little rocky start. The head coach and myself at the beginning. I made a team. I didn't make a team. So like you're in this full-time environment, but then a 12 get named every time you go play.
Okay.
We play like 8 tournaments throughout the year. There's like 20 to 25 girls up for selection. And so in that 12, I missed out on that 12 twice in 2018, 2019 season. And, it starts to get in the back of your head, like, okay, maybe, they see big picture, maybe that's what's best. And then, you just claw your way back in there.
Well, okay, now to go from that, and we're talking about Abby Gustaitis, to go from that to becoming a captain, right? Like, how does that happen? To go from, clawing just to be on the roster to like suddenly being someone that has that much cachet and that much respect within the team?
Yeah, I think a super humbling experience and honored to be one of the captains on the squad. Myself and our coach, we've come a long way and we've gotten to know each other. And I'm, in case you couldn't tell, like super outspoken.
No, couldn't. Was not getting that at all. Not the former coach doesn't think that either.
And so it's kind of like with me, you get what you get. Like, I'm not gonna like be rude to you, but I will very much tell you what I think and what I see. And I just think that like transparency was a little newer to some of the people around the team. And we have a huge mix of people. Like, we have so many incredible players and women on our team, but we're all so different, right? Like, we come from all over the States. And
sure.
So I think just like the continuing drive, like I'm always going to give it my very best in every training. I'm going to encourage the girls, and I'm going to speak up when something needs to be said. And so I think like slowly over time, like he saw value in that as one of the leaders for the team, and super grateful. And I think we're in a really good place now, and we're just amped to get on that plane and go to Tokyo.
So everything you've accomplished already to this point in your career, right? It's remarkable. Your story is unbelievable, but now to do this and to be there and to have waited a year and to go through all the, will it happen? Won't it happen? What is this going to mean to you when you land, when you're there? Have you, like, dreaming dreams like this seem really overwhelming? Can you put into words what this is going to mean?
I literally have chills just thinking about even just pulling on that jersey and just stepping out onto that field. It's like, especially here in the States, like, I'm marrying an English person, so he doesn't like the Olympic vibe. Like, in America,
really
huge. Like, he gets it and he realized, like, but I feel like us here growing up in America, like, every summer, every winter the Olympics were on, like, those 2-3 weeks, you are just glued to the
shut down. Yeah.
Like, no, we're not doing anything. We're not playing outside. Like,
yep.
we're watching. And like, I can just remember sitting on the living room floor and my parents, like, just watching the Olympics, gymnastics, like figure skating, literally curling, everything. Like, it's just so wild to think that I'm on that stage now. Cool. And it's like, just the amount of pride that I feel, it's like, it's overwhelming. And I'm just so proud to be where I am and excited. Just want to represent my friends and family, Harford County.
Yeah. Big Olympics for Harford County. Obviously, you, Chase Kalish, of course, from Falston in swimming, and Johnny Stefanowicz is a wrestler from Bel Air. Like, big Olympics for Harford County. This is kind of the moment that Harford County has been waiting for. Right? All the attention that Baltimore got. Yeah, right.
Let's bring it home.
It's really cool. It's a really cool thing. What's it going to take to make sure you don't get left off the medal stand this time around? What's it going to take to make sure that it's not fourth place?
I think presence. Like, I think it always comes down to it. Like I said, it's a 14-minute game. It's 2 7-minute halves. Anything can happen. They can score on you 2 times. But as long as we're sticking to what we know, like, we're in the moment, then I back us all day to stay in the fight and carry it out. We just played this weekend in LA against a great side, Great Britain. They're an incredible team. We played 4 matches against them, and we showed a lot of resilience. And I think that's exactly what we're going to need going into Tokyo. There's a lot of top teams there.
All right, so I got a couple. Before we let you go, I got to handle a couple things. Abby Gustaitis is with us here on GCR. You mentioned your fiance, also a rugby player, correct?
Yes.
So what is that dynamic like for the two of you? Like, is it we don't talk about rugby once we get home? Like, how do you handle both of you doing the same thing professionally?
Well, so he is retired from, he played for England and then played in the Premiership over there. And so he just works in rugby, and he's a rugby analyst now. So mostly for 15s aside, but he's always trying to give me pointers on our scrum. And I'm like, no, I don't.
That's the thing, right? Like,
I got it. He's like, you really don't.
I could see that being like, hey, I appreciate that that you think you're trying to help, but like, I'm home now. I kind of want to leave work at work.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I have to throw in a few jabs. He played the 15s aside. I play sevens. I'm like, you're just like a lesser athlete. I don't know that I can take your advice seriously.
Oh my God, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. I know that this year, is he gonna get to go, or is that not an option because of COVID?
Yeah, unfortunately, he won't get to travel over there, but he'll be watching here with, friends and family. So
who is the other Olympic athlete that, like, if you see in the village, you're not going to be able to stop yourself from fangirling? Like, you're gonna have to go over and get a picture with, or something like that.
I mean, Rafa Nadal is like my hero in tennis and in sport. Like, I think he's an incredible athlete, and like the mental toughness that you have to show in tennis to be in the zone for hours on end is like absolutely unreal to me. So he's at the top. I don't even think he's probably going to go. He's been there before.
Unfortunately, and he just pulled out of Wimbledon. I don't.
Unlikely, but I mean, there's some. Alison Felix is incredible, 5-time. She's Olympian mom. Like,
amazing. She's amazing.
Unreal. Yeah.
No doubt.
She's at the top of the list.
Okay, so now are you the type that, like, you would maybe semi-stalk? Like, if you happen to see them across the way, you'd be like, oh, I'll find a reason to linger here just to have 100%. Them. Okay, all right. I respect that.
I'll just be like, yo, Allison.
You'll go for it. You'll just go for it. Yeah, that's all. I love that. We
caught up back in wherever. Shoot my shot. Like, what are they? You gonna say no?
Go for it. Just go for it, right? Like, what do you have to lose? You're there. You're supposed to be there. You guys are teammates, if you will.
Same. Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. And then, do you know about anything like, is your family hosting watch parties or anything like that? Do you know how they're going to handle the Olympics?
Yeah. So my mom is trying to rally her siblings and just do the whole red, white, and blue, go all in, set the alarms, because who knows what times we're going to be playing. But yeah, they're gonna do it up, and then the friends here in San Diego, I'm sure it's just all gonna be a big gathering. Just very COVID's over, so it's fine.
Yeah, right. Let's do it. Right. Let's get together. Let's hang out. Get vaxxed. Everything's good, man. I have definitely, by the way, that has definitely been my attitude. I have been. It's over. I need to be out. I need to be with people. I got the vax. We're good. Let's go. Oh man, Abby, this is
distance gathering.
Yes, that's definitely what we're saying. I want to make that very clear. Abby, what can we plug for you? Social media, website, any business you're involved with, anything at all?
Instagram is where I'm at atown1022. It's, I could have just gone and switched it up back to my name, but I got my nickname in college, A-Town. I was always down.
There we go.
Not so much. I'm down to go to bed at 9 p.m.
and get up and watch rugby in the morning. Correct. That's what you're down to do. I'm 37, so I've been out of that world. I got 2 kids now. Like, there is none of that in my life.
Absolutely settled.
I am down for a nap. That's what I'm down for. That is awesome. Abby, we're so happy for you. Seriously, congratulations. Incredible that you've accomplished this incredible story, and probably a lesson to a lot of people that have given up on their own, like, pursuits, and say, wow, like, you can still accomplish great things, even
Absolutely.
If you don't work out, and even if a coach tells you you're not good enough. Abby, best of luck in Tokyo. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.